And we are officially live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the BC Wrestle Pod Network. And welcome to our WrestleMania 42 post show. My name is Mikey, El Jefe of BC Wrestle Pod. And joining me this evening, longtime friend. We've been trying to make it work, and it just happened to work out for this one. And I kind of wanted also his opinion for this one, too, after briefly having conversations this past weekend. But my good friend, my Puerto Rican brother is in the house. Macho, I'm happy to have you back, man. I have missed you dearly.
Yeah, I've missed you too. I mean, it's been a very long time since we've been able to chat about professional wrestling. Definitely some busy lives ahead, things like that. You obviously, with your personal life and being molding young minds and things like that, and myself with, my kids and baseball has just completely taken over my life, my son's life. So, yeah.
Oh my goodness. I give you hats off to you, my friend, because I know sports parents, man, it's a whole different literally, it's a whole different ball game.
Oh yeah. It is definitely a hurdle, but it's worth it. It's worth it for their joy.
It definitely most is. And I'm excited to have you here because me and you, we can all. I love talking shop with you with wrestling, and boy howdy, we got one to talk about with this one.
Yep.
So we are going to be here, as I said before, breaking down WrestleMania 42. We are going to be covering both nights, so this one's
Mhm.
going to be interesting. But yeah, so without further ado, let's get into it.
Mhm.
Let's just rip the band-aid off because we both know, and I feel like the general consensus is that night one was awful.
Mhm.
And then
Yep,
night
no
two
question.
definitely, yeah, night two was definitely better, but it doesn't get off scot-free because the bar was in hell, so to speak,
Mhm.
after night one. So it wasn't that hard to clear. So all right. So we're gonna give our play by play. We're just gonna talk about each match, how we got here, and talk about the things that happened. So let's start with night one, shall we?
Mhm.
So of course we kick things off with night one. This was our six-man tag team match. This is the Usos and LA Knight taking on the Vision and I Show Speed, social media and Twitch and YouTuber extraordinaire. I did not hate this. I didn't hate this match as much as most people did, and in
Mm.
fact, I kind of feel that people overlooked. And I thought I Show Speed did really great in this one, honestly.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. Mhm. Yeah, I
So,
thought I thought all men did really well. I think the only like miss was we only saw after the replay, which was the 1D to Logan Paul, who's just completely missed on Jimmy's part. But the show it's I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it was really a lot for 7 minutes. This match was 7 minutes long. And I
mhm.
think that's going to be the common theme of night one, um, where I think there's this like assumption that the minute count starts like when the bell rings. No,
Mhm.
the moment you hear the first wrestler's music, that is the actual start time for it. And I think people don't realize that because this was a 7 minute match, including entrances. That was super fast. Now, I get it. I show speed. He definitely showed speed. And he looked great, right? He looked like someone who had been there for, a while. But personally for me, I just felt like this felt almost like here, here, fine, shut up, go get that win. That's what it felt like. Like, let's just get LA Knight to get a win. That's all this felt like to me.
I have to agree with you when it comes to that one too. This was I, a lot of these matches. They were like, "All right, we got to finish building this out, so let's just figure out what we're going to throw on this card," and then bam, here you go.
Mhm.
I yeah, I mean, this is definitely it is going to set up. We're probably going to have Usos and Vision be fighting over the course of the summer. So I'm like, all right, well, I mean, that sets it up right here, kind of. So, and then LA Knight got to be on WrestleMania, so woo. Um, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, There's
It
nothing
was
more to
fine. I
say.
mean, I think Logan Paul is the guy that they definitely want to push towards the future. I think having Logan Paul and ISO Speed on the same team, it brings two different fan bases together. And I think that was the objective. We did hear the rumor earlier today that TKO wants more celebrity involvement. They want to be in control of the main event scene. And I think we're headed towards, well, I'm sure we'll talk about it when we get to night 2, but I just want to drop a teaser. Like, I think there's differences in like what a TKO booked show looks like and what a WWE booked show looks like, because I definitely think they were booked differently, and I think that was the main reason.
I can't wait to have that conversation with you because that's going to be interesting to talk about. But let's keep this going. So again, after this is all within the first hour, be on
Mhm.
ESPN. Um, I'll save my thoughts at the very end. I'm like, I already shell out so much for other streaming services. I'm not about to
Yeah,
pay for ESPN. But anyhow, moving on, we get into our second match of night 1, which is our unsanctioned match, Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu. We have been building this for a while now. This is probably one of the only other this is probably one of the only other matches on this card that actually had a proper build that wasn't
yep,
less than 2 weeks. And this definitely felt like a WrestleMania worthy type of match to have on the card. As far as execution go, I also like this one. And I hate to say this, but this was probably my favorite match of night 1. But that
agreed.
mostly has to do with that they actually gave this one time. So I'm like, all right
Mhm.
then. Um, and I just love Jacob. Jacob is what I aspire to be. He is a wrestler, but he also like fans out behind the scenes too, and he loves the business, and it's great.
Yeah.
Um, I like this one. I just hated that was like towards the beginning of the card, but hey, you know what? I'll take what I can.
Yeah, I agree with you. Personally, I think that Undertaker was recently interviewed, and he was asked if he saw anybody on the roster today that reminds him of himself, and I think he took that question literal, like almost like the spooky, right? And I think if he would have looked at it like objectively, almost like a oh, like locker room leader, like can go out there and work with literally anybody, can just like do the job that's needed for, that purpose. I think Drew McIntyre would be the guy that he would actually come up with if he thought about it. When I think about Drew McIntyre, he's a consummate professional. I mean, once again, this guy gets the WWE championship, holds it for like what, 42 days, drops it, and then makes his feud with Jacob Fatu, who was injured for a decent amount this past year. He makes his feud the most important feud. And to me personally, this felt very reminiscent of Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens, where they were kind of screwed over. I don't want to use that term like now, but the Universal Championship was taken away from them and put on a bigger match because of the two men involved. And their like story was the biggest story going into Mania. And to me, it felt like this match right here could have definitely used the WWE Championship. I just feel like it would have helped both of these men. And I think if you take an unsanctioned match and you put the world title on it, it just makes it that much more important. Um, this obviously it was 14 minutes, so it was the second longest match on the night. But yeah, it was really good. I would have to say for me personally, it's probably a tie between this one and like Seth's match, as for like the match of the night.
And I actually will agree with you there too, because Seth and Gunther is also probably like of the better matches we got for night 1. But to keep it going, Jacob Fatu wins. At least from what I've been able to see, Drew McIntyre is about to go film go film some stuff, so he'll be off
Mhm.
of television for a little bit. And please use this momentum to start pushing Jacob to some fun stuff leading into SummerSlam. That's all I want.
Mhm. Agreed.
So just this is gonna be a fair warning. We're gonna rip the band-aid off because from here on out, it's it's going to get clunky and then it's going to get good. And then it's just, yeah, it's all downhill from here for night one. Alrighty. I want to be fair to this next match, right? So this is for the women WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. It is a fatal four-way. You have the champions going in of the Irresistible Forces, so Nia Jax and Lash Legend, and they are taking on the Friends of Convenience, which is Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. You also have Lyra Valkyria and Bailey, who I'll probably get on the soapbox in a little bit here for her. And then originally scheduled, it is supposed to be Nikki and Brie Bella. However, one of the Bellas was not cleared enough because of injury. And
Mhm.
so coming to here's the thing. I love this because I'm also a big fan of hers because we get the return of Paige into WWE, who kind of tags in for our injured Bella.
Mhm.
Love the moment. I love Paige. I think she's very underrated, and I'm happy to see her here. And the match itself, I actually, you know what, it was okay, but I figured because it's a fatal four way for a tag team championship. You have 8 people, so things are going to kind of be missed a little bit. Um, yeah, I thought it was okay. I want to be fair because I feel for all the women on night one
Mhm.
specifically because of collectively how much time they got, and percentage wise, it's abysmal. So I felt really
Yeah.
bad. I wasn't expecting this to go 15 minutes, but for what we got, I thought it was okay. I feel like everyone got a chance to get some stuff in. Um, but yeah, that's all I really have for this. I'm trying to be fair because I don't want to say it's bad because I don't think it was bad. Could it have been better? Possibly, but given
Mm.
what the time that they had, I think they did the best that they could with how much time they got.
Yeah, I did not. I was not happy with this match whatsoever. Before WrestleMania Night 2 culminated, um, I think it was pretty obvious that Charlotte Flair is considered to be Mrs. WrestleMania, right? Like she's the woman that goes out there and she steals the show no matter what part of the show she's on. And to waste Charlotte Flair this way. From what I understand, all rumors indicated that the Bellas were winning regardless. This entire match was set up for the Bellas. My biggest gripe about this is like, yes, I love Paige. I'm super happy that she's back. I'm excited. I know a lot of people have been pushing for it. Um, what I will say is, I don't agree with the decision to have Brie win the tag titles with Paige because now Brie will retire a two-time tag champ because her and Nikki will definitely like. I'm assuming it's going to be like um the Cody Rhodes, Hardcore Holly, and Ted DiBiase tag team. Like, I don't know if you remember that match. Like
Hmm.
Cody was Hardcore Holly's tag partner, and they were facing Ted DiBiase and a partner of his choice. And then Cody turns on Hardcore Holly and joins Legacy. Like
Hmm.
they become tag champs. They beat Hardcore Holly. So I'm assuming it's going to be something like that where they kind of jump out Paige because the Bellas are just better as heels.
Hmm.
But for me, 9 minutes for a match in which Charlotte's entrance is long, Alexa Bliss's entrance is long, right? And then the same thing goes with like the Bella's introduction. Like that felt so rushed. They didn't get to breathe out the moment at all. It was like 20 seconds of her talking on the mic and then just boom, here's Paige's music. We didn't get to see the proper like Paige come down the ring, like to actually have that, moment. She didn't get to do the side skip the way she wanted to because she was kind of like a visitor there at the moment because it was really about the Bellas. And to be quite honest, I think it like really, like, I love the fact that Lash Legend got some time, right? Like she got to shine and stuff, and she's gonna have tons of time. She's 28 years old, which I think a lot of people don't know that she's that young, but she's 28 years old, so she's gonna have a big, long, great career ahead of her. But I just these are some legends in the ring right here. You got Bailey, you got Charlotte, you got Alexa Bliss, you got Nia Jax, you got the Bellas. These are legends. This should have been like such a big moment for Lyra, for Paige, for Lash. Like It should have just been like a big moment for them, because a lot of people forget that Paige is 33. She's younger than some of the women on the roster right now. Like, she's just had a lot go on with her to get her out of wrestling. I was just wasn't happy. I didn't feel like this showcased it. And the last thing I want to point out about this that really upset me is this title. These titles were treated as a joke for such a such a long time, and then all of a sudden, over the past like year and a half, they decided that they were going to take them seriously. They were going to put these titles on Jade and Bianca, and then Bianca and Naomi, and the Kabuki Warriors, and Charlexa and Rio, and they were going to make these titles matter, right? Becky and Lyra, like the Judgment Day with Liv Morgan, like these championships mattered. Like the lineage over the past year and a half holding these championships, and to give it 9 minutes feels like such a slap in the face, and it feels like we're moving backwards instead of moving forwards.
It's frustrating for sure because I'm not behind the scenes. I don't work for WWE. I'm not part of, creative or whatever. But the whole entire build, I was frustrated, especially when they announced these are the 4 teams that are going to be involved. I'm like, then let's do something cool about it. But no,
Yep.
they didn't take. I agree. It's it's frustrating because we're taking steps back with this, because these titles were always, you were right, because they were always being treated as a joke. In my personal opinion, when we merge these titles with the NXT women's titles, from then it took us forever to finally get them back to being treated like this is a legit title that the women's division should want to strive for, not consolation prize, not as a joke. With it being on, with the Bellas and Paige, we're going to see what happens with this. I do agree that I don't think Paige is long for that partnership, so to speak. But we'll see what happens, and I don't foresee them holding the titles for this long, but dang, man, we could have done some really cool stuff, and I
Yep.
just feel bad for Bayley. Like, Bayley's one of my all-time favorites. I love her dearly, and Homegirl is always batting for WWE. She's willing to do anything and everything. She always puts her best foot forward.
Yep.
And I just don't understand, like, did she do something, y'all, that made you mad backstage? Because why is she always overlooked? I don't understand.
I don't understand it either. It just seems so odd to me. Like, it's so weird. I don't know. It just seems like they almost like she gets treated like Christian, where it's like, we know the fans love you. We know you're over with everybody. We just don't see it, and we don't view you. It doesn't matter if she helped carry them through COVID. It's so weird that we are in 2026 and we're only like a couple of years removed from like the COVID era, from the Thunderdome. And the 2 people that carried us through that were Bayley and Drew. And both of those people, obviously until Roman turned into the tribal chief, because that kind of took over then. But they carried us until Roman showed up and changed the game, like changed the aspect of it. And it almost feels like they're the most disrespected ones, right? But I have this friend of mine who says this all the time, that I'm overreacting, and he tells me, they still get paid really well. And I'm just thinking, like, that's just not enough for me.
No, and respectfully to your friend, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. Yes, they get a cushy paycheck, which is cool and everything. But you have to, and I'm not trying to reach here. I really am not, because I don't know what goes in the mind. But like, if I were in that position, yeah, I get paid well. But I would have to think, like, how much just being there and always being overlooked, how much that starts to diminish at your passion for the sport and for everything that you put into it. And I don't want that for Bayley. And that's why I kind of like her doing these seminars, like, ever so often, for just be like, hey, if women want to come and do a seminar with me, let's do it. And the last 2 that she's done has been really, really great. And then, of course, people are supporting her. And that's the crazy thing to me, is that everyone, not just in WWE, but like wrestlers across the industry in general are rooting for Bailey, and they
Mhm.
like her seminars. They're always wanting to help out and be there to be teaching, these wrestlers, upcoming wrestlers in the independent scene, these things. I just don't get it, man.
Mhm.
So I'm hoping we'll see what happens. I I don't wish for Bailey to leave because I think she still has stuff she can do in WWE. But I'm like, you know what, Bailey, whatever you decide to do, I am 100% behind you, and we're gonna follow you wherever you go. So we'll see what
Mhm.
happens. Hi, vey. All right, from here we get into this one, and you know what? I figured Becky was gonna get the title back. This I can't believe I'm saying this. I actually have been really enjoying the story that we've gotten with these two since,
Mhm.
well, leading into Chamber and out of Chamber. I'm like, we've had spurts of it. It didn't overstay its welcome. And I really had a fun time with this match. There was some really fun stuff. Of course, Becky Lynch and Jessica Carr playing up the Twitter beef that we had going on leading into this match was fun. Um, and I'm glad AJ got her WrestleMania moment. I did because last time she wasn't able to because of things. For for those of us that read the book, we know what happened. We
Mhm.
understand why and fully support her and all that. I'm just happy she got a WrestleMania moment out of this one.
Agreed, agreed. Yeah, obviously AJ Lee being my all-time favorite women's wrestler, and me, the amount of times that I've called Becky Lynch the GOAT, I truly feel that way. This is like a match made in heaven for me. I have enjoyed every single encounter that both of these women have had. And so the way I look at it is like this was a blood feud. This deserved like 20-25 minutes. And I don't know why it was given 8 minutes. You give us 8 minutes to tell this story. It didn't even give it enough time to breathe. And to me, it felt like AJ can go for longer. But I think after listening to AJ after being interviewed, it feels like the entrance with the children and the gear, and it feels like the story itself meant more to her than the actual match. And I'm a big proponent. I've said this so many times over the past couple years that I really want people to hear this. I might get a fucking shirt made from it, which is just like I listen to the worker when they talk. And age if AJ is content, if she's happy, if she's ecstatic with it, then I guess I obviously, like, I have to accept that. For me, I just feel that this is so weird that we got Paige, we got AJ Lee, we got Bella, like the Bellas. They fought so hard for time. They had matches cut from WrestleMania. They literally had matches cut because one match went too long. And they all come back to the same WrestleMania. They are all come back to the same mania, and they have to deal with the same shit they used to deal with. And it is just, it's heartbreaking because I feel like this match had so much more.
It is disheartening because if you take the look at like the women's division.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna get on my soapbox for a little bit because if you look at it, so if we go back to like the early 2000s, right? Early 2000s WWE when the women's division had the likes of like Mickey James and Lay Cool, Trish
Mhm.
Stratus, Lita, and then of course, Molly Holly and some other folks down there too. Those girls learned from the guys. Finley was put in charge of helping them as a joke, as we would come to learn way later, like not expecting them to succeed. And then those girls fighting to actually get time to wrestle. Then we get into the Divas era of things where things started to look up, but then the same issues where these girls were fighting for matches and then
Mhm.
they had matches cut or shortened for time because matches went over or, last minute decisions were made. And then when we started, it was on an upcline. Like when we had the four horsewomen, and we have all the women that have come through these doors now that are currently in NXT or on main roster right now. We have women coming from around the world and other promotions who want to be here too. Like the women's division in WWE is, in my personal opinion, it's stacked. There's a lot of women here both who've been here for a while or who are new coming
Mhm.
up. But the fact that this WrestleMania showed me that these women couldn't even get the time that they deserve. And
Mhm.
it's not fair to compare because NXT is its own beast. But I'm like, when you mean to tell me that you have your women's roster in NXT at Stand and Deliver, which was streaming on YouTube, by the way, it wasn't on
Mhm.
Peacock this year, it wasn't part of Mania Weekend, it's its own entity. When I preferred those women's matches that we got at Stand and Deliver over these ones because those were given time, it's
Mhm.
frustrating and
Yep.
it irritates my soul.
Yep.
All right.
Agreed.
So I'm going to put a pin in that because I'm going to save my feelings of rage and frustration when we get into the other women's match that we had for
Mhm.
this one. But prior to this, Seth versus Gunther, shortest builds ever. Honestly, I was like, you know what, guys? Y'all did the dang thing. I was like,
Yep.
y'all did the dang thing. This felt like a WrestleMania match to me. And even though this had the shortest build, I thought this was fun. Um, and Braun Breaker returning definitely sets up for an interesting and very fun summer between Seth and Braun and all that stuff that we had to put a pause on. But I really did like this match between these two. Seth is another one who's a workhorse, man.
Yeah.
Like workhorse.
Agreed. He is Mr. WrestleMania. I mean, the fact that he was able to come back off injury and have this match the way he did, and I think it really played into his style really well because he didn't have to do too much. He didn't have to be Seth Rollins here. He could just go out there and be a heavyweight worker because Gunther doesn't work that style. And what I really love is the fact, well, I think about this all the time, the way people get Gunther's style wrong because they look at him and they immediately think he's a powerhouse. He is a guy who's going to throw you all over the place, like an Obafemi, right? And that's not his style at all. He's a fighter. He's going to win at the end. You're going to beat him up just as much as he's going to beat you up. He's just going to outlast you because he's just better than you. That's Gunther's character. That's who he is. That's his wrestling style. And that's kind of what happened yesterday. Whether this whole story might play out to where Gunther's upset that Braun got involved because he thinks he could beat Seth, and now he feels like I can't say I'm better than him because you helped me win. Maybe that plays into that, but honestly, for me, I feel like Gunther's character doesn't care. He won the match. That's all that matters. He won. And I feel like that's the way to go. I love the fact that Braun was involved. I wish that spear was a little bit
Mhm.
cleaner. It did feel like he didn't really get him, but I think he was like afraid to hurt him because Seth has been kind of like injured, and he did just
Mhm.
come off a banging ass match with Gunther. So um I think he was like protecting, they were protecting each other, is what I think happened. Plus, I think he might have gassed himself out because you could tell he was huffing by the end of it. That's a long ass ramp he had to sprint down. So I will say that yeah, I mean, I thought this match was really good, and this match was given 15 minutes, which is weird because this is another match that could have gone like 29 to 32 minutes. I don't understand.
It is. So my our good friend Nick is in the chat, stirring up drama just because he can. Love you, Nick. Question for the host: better wrestler, Seth or Gunther? Just for
Seth.
personal process, but say it. Yeah, I have to go with Seth.
Seth, yeah. Seth is the best wrestler since Shawn Michaels. I don't even know that he's just good at everything. He can do it all, which is like one of those things. Like I feel like what makes Shawn Michaels special is that he's another beast. He can do the character work as well. And Seth needs to stick to a specific character to get over with the fans. But in terms of in-ring work, bell to bell, who's left right now? I mean, I don't know if there's anybody. Maybe Osprey, maybe Omega, MJF. Obviously, Gunther's there, but I think Seth is probably the best walking the planet right now.
Oh, absolutely. And again, this one was another really fun match. We could have gotten a little bit more time, but this was really good. And this definitely feels like a WrestleMania match. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm not even going to try to prelude into this because this this one this one hurt. This one made
Uh,
me angry, man. This one like
so before you jump into that, I just want to tell you, it does look like that all the wrestling people, like Wade Keller, Meltzer, all these guys, they're all saying that there was this story going around this weekend that this match was cut short because Stephanie, because of the botch with the headbutts, with the clunking, the coconut clunkings.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess this morning that was dispelled, and what happened was I guess both of these women are hurt,
Oy
and
vey.
they didn't want them to get further injured, so they gave them a super short match. So it seems like this was done to protect the talents, and that to me kind of negates everything we talked about yesterday, because at least I know they were protecting the talents. It just sucks because this entire year has been built around Stephanie being like the next big thing. And then Liv, this was supposed to be her year to be the top like star at Mania, right? Like they've all had their moments. Rhea's had two, Bianca's had two, Charlotte's had a couple, Becky's had two, AJ Lee, she's had one before, like women have gotten their moments where this is like the top star in our division. And this was supposed to be Liv's year. And it just feels like due to injury, and it almost makes me question, like, was Liv ever really healthy? Did she rush back? Because I don't think this was like a head thing. I think she might be dealing with other things, other ailments. I find it interesting that she's working Sol Ruca tonight. I think that's going to be a weird. It almost makes you think, are we going to get another Paige AJ Lee moment?
Ooh, ow, ooh, ow. Yeah. So, okay. So with that, with what you just shared, I do, it kind of, I don't want to say it makes it better is not the correct phrase, but I give it a little bit more grace, if you will.
Yeah.
So we don't want them to get super hurt and be out for months to maybe a year or so. So so I give a little bit of grace about that, but I do agree that it just sucks because you explained it perfectly. It just sucks for both of them. Stephanie has been champion since WrestlePalooza. Yeah, WrestlePalooza.
Yep.
She won the title with her and Io fighting for the vacated title, and she's been champion. And I know Stephanie outside of WWE before she got here. I loved her then. I love her now. I will always love her, especially with her story of resiliency, just in all aspects of her life. And I do agree. I feel like as much as much chagrin that Liv has gotten over the last couple of years, I do think that she definitely had been building to this. And something would always happen to Liv. We thought we would get there, and then she gets hurt, or she has to be away for something or whatever. And so it just sucks that both of them are banged up leading into this, and that we got a short match. Again, with the news report saying that they gave him a short match to protect them. I do hope that when both of them are feeling better and more ready to go, I do want to get a rematch, and please give them the time that they should have gotten here.
Yeah, I mean, I think their feud is supposed to go on. So, I don't think this is over. I was hoping, I was like fantasy booking a scenario tonight in which Liv puts out an open challenge because she's the greatest of all time, right? Because that's what she always says. And Roxanne like jumps her when the ref's in the ring. And then the bell rings, and actually Raquel hits her with a Tahana bomb
Oh
and
my
pins her.
gosh.
Like I was like, this is a great way to get Raquel over as the world champ, to have Roxanne be like her little, like, like, because she's a great worker, but be like her heater. And
Mhm.
then to have Liv Morgan be like a massive baby face, almost like the whole time Dom has been playing, like he's been playing behind Liv's back, right?
Mhm.
Like, I think that'd be really cool. But obviously that's not going to happen because it seems like Liv and Stephanie are going to keep going.
Right. I'm also here for Raquel Rodriguez as world champion agenda. I feel
Yeah.
like she should get one, man. Like, I don't know. I mean, hell, she was the majority of Stephanie's feud as champion. She
4
fought.
championship matches. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. She fought Stephanie 4 different times during this
Mhm.
title reign for that championship, and then the other defense was against Miss Bella at Survivor Series last year.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, it was good. And they also had the triple threat,
mm-hmm.
the one that
Which was all.
AJ Lee spoke about, like 3 Latina women, being on a pay-per-view together and getting that much time. That was pretty good.
It-
I just want to say one thing that really frustrated me about this night. I'm sorry. This is going to come off as super lewd and inappropriate. And I just want to say, like, I don't care. 30 minutes to commercials for a Hulk Hogan documentary and giving the women 23 minutes is bullshit. I don't care who Hulk Hogan is. I don't care if you think that we wouldn't be at WrestleMania without him. I don't care about none of that shit. Hulk Hogan got us here, but the women are the best part of professional wrestling today. They are what's carrying the business. Think about this for a second. They thought we were in such a great place that they told the face of the company, "We no longer need you. You can go to Hollywood. And then when you come back, you're just going to feud with your family." Right? That's what they said. And then in those 2 years, the product has gone down severely. And the only shining light of this entire 2 years, since they told, one person to, like, "Hey, you're good. You don't need to be main event anymore," has been the women. Consistently the women. Last year, Evolution 2 was the best pay-per-view of the year. The first Evolution was the best pay-per-view of that year. The amount of times that the women have carried this company, the best character last year was Naomi. We're talking about, like, the amount of times that, like, the women have stood out above the rest. Think about all of the legends that have come back to the business over the past couple of years because of how hot the women are. We've gotten a return of Trish Stratus. We've gotten a return of Lita. We've gotten a return of AJ Lee. Paige is now back. I know she's 33, but she's still a WWE legend. The Bellas came back. Brie Bella's husband is currently working for the competition, and she still figured out a way. They still figured out a way to get her back because the Bellas matter that much to women's wrestling. And as a whole, this is a new time and place. And you think 23 minutes for these women that have been carrying your company after you made that decision 2 years ago? They've been carrying the biggest star in the company, is second to last on night 2, and you hear the pop she got. And I'm sorry, I love Rhea Ripley. She's right there with me with Roman as my favorite wrestlers in the world. Rhea's pop failed in comparison to Paige's. Paige's pop, I know somebody that was at both nights. This dude said Paige had the biggest pop for both nights. Paige's pop was the loudest of anybody, including Roman Reigns. And you're telling me that 23 minutes is what you're going to give these women? It feels like such a disrespectful thing to do.
I perfectly said. And again, we could have a whole nother podcast talking about how great the women, how literally women's wrestling in general, not even just this era, but like in general, since the history of, well, specifically looking at WWE. But honestly, I would put, with all the things that I watch too, women's wrestling in general across the board of professional wrestling has carried a lot of things, and they always play in their faces, and it frustrates me to no end, man. Ugh. So Liv is our new champion. I'm very interested to see how it goes for her, but I do agree we're probably going to see this feud continue all the way to possibly SummerSlam, which only leads us night 1 main event. Good God. I already was not the biggest fan of, before I get into the players that are involved. I already was not the biggest fan of this build because WWE kept trying to get us to be like, Randy's the heel. I'm like, this is Randall Keith Orton. I am never going to boo this man out the building. It is Randy Orton, for goodness sake. And this version of Randy is fun. I've been enjoying him since his return, coming back after some time away. This version of Randy is fun, and I like this. I am not, I'm going to say this as diplomatically as possible, but I've hated Cody Rhodes' presentation. I don't like him as champion. I've never liked him as champion. Like when he first came back, I was like, okay, this could be interesting. And then when he won the title, it's cool. And then for the last 2 years, I'm like, what are we doing? This is not
Mhm.
how we do this. This was already a mess to begin with. But
Mhm.
then somewhere along the way, someone decided to stick their fingers into the pie, so to speak.
Mhm.
Because then there were some decisions that were made. Pat McAfee is back for some reason, and then he's like the fourth breaker of this whole entire thing, and which led to some really weird promos on a different show where this feud was not happening. I'm looking at you,
Mhm.
Mr. CM Punk on Raw. This build was a mess, and then the match itself was just also the beginning before we even got to the bell to bell. It was just a whole mess. This was a whole mess.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness, I hated this. I hated this for Randy. I hated it for the people that were there. Most importantly, I hated it for us who do this thing and we talk about it on our platforms. Because gosh dang, I hated this match.
Yeah, I mean, here's what I will say as the biggest Cody Rhodes hater on the face of the earth. I will say this, that I feel like at the very end, it does feel like WWE tried to give the fans what they wanted. I just don't think it hit right. Like I think the moment Pat was included, I think Cody did everything he could to just ignore the Pat McAfee stuff. Like you could tell even with interviews, he was no selling this shit. He was like, I don't even understand his involvement. Like you could tell he was just kind of, I don't know if he was going into business for himself or he was being told what to say or what to do, but it did feel like he was not feeling the feud. Like he was like it's almost like he lost it. And fans wanted Cody to be desperate. They wanted him to like have that, like I'm gonna take advantage of everything. He did that. He wrestled like the heel. Like like when you watch the match, he wrestled like a heel, right? And my biggest issue with Cody's presentation, and I've said this, like I'm gonna say this until I'm blue in the face, like he's not the American Nightmare that people love and adore. This is not the character that everybody thinks that, oh, it's the same guy. It is two things can be true. He could still have the name, he could still have the look, but the presentation of his character is not the American Nightmare that was in Ring of Honor, that was in New Japan, that was in the Bullet Club, that was in AEW, that was that beat Nick Aldis for the NWA Championship. Like that is a different American Nightmare. That guy had edge to him. That guy felt more like the brunette Cody, right? That he just happened to dye his hair, but he felt different, right? That Cody felt like a living embodiment of like what it would be if Ric Flair had more Randy Orton in him. Like that was a
Mhm.
special Cody. We were never going to get that. And I've said this also. 2009 Randy Orton, if that character existed today, he's a babyface.
Mhm.
Everything he does, people are freaking out. Think about the way the country that we live in treats women. Do you
Mhm.
think if he RKO's Stephanie McMahon, they're going to boo that shit? No, they're going to cheer him. He RKO's Linda McMahon, he's getting cheered. You know why they didn't bring in Brandy Rhodes? I don't know this. Just my theory. This is me. I didn't
Mhm.
read it anywhere. They didn't bring in Brandy Rhodes to the feud because if he would have RKO'd Brandy, the crowd would have lost its mind. They would have popped for it. Fans fantasy booked this match from the beginning. I knew this was never going to hit because Randy hasn't had a good match in a long time. He really hasn't. Even his match with Gunther was not great. And it was like, he can't work the way he used to. You could tell he's slow. He moves differently. He's not the Randy that Daniel Bryan once said was the perfect wrestler,
Mhm.
right? He's not that Randy anymore. And I think that that's a big indicator as to why they needed the involvement, the outside involvement. But it's just a fact that it I don't know why they had to use Pat McAfee to trash the business the way they did. Like, it was just so odd. Like, I got it. I liked all the stuff he said about Cody and being up, Triple H's ass, and I liked all that stuff. But then it was like, this product is garbage and Night Two's ass. And it's just like, bro, what are you doing? You're supposed to get people to buy tickets, not try to convince them like, oh, this guy might be right. It was weird. It was just a weird night one, and I think TKO booked this whole show.
I honestly agree. I feel like this is TKO's hands in the oven, so to speak.
Yep.
Cody's still champion. Randy Orton punts him. Pictures have made the internet. I was like, nice, Randy.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're done with night one. Now let's get into night two because this is easier
Oh yeah.
for me because I had a freaking blast. But then again, the bar was in hell when
Yeah.
by the beginning. So let's talk
Mhm.
about this one. And
Oof.
gosh darn it, there was like a 10% chance of me. I was just like, WWE's gonna mess this up. They gonna do it. They gonna do it. But thank God I was proven wrong. Brock
Yeah.
Lesnar, Obafemi, less than 5 minutes. Obafemi, fall from grace, boom, bang, done. Yes, thank you, WWE. Right decision.
Yeah. So I have always said this story to people. In Death Clutch, which is Brock Lesnar's book, he talks about a couple of people that he views like with so much respect, and one of the people is The Rock. And the reason he views The Rock with so much respect is because in 2002, WWE wanted The Rock to beat him at SummerSlam. Right? They wanted to capitalize off the fact that their world champion was in Hollywood and they can have the title paraded on like red carpet events and things like that. And Rock said no. Rock really pushed for Lesnar to win that match. He was like, let's put the championship on the kid. Let's go with him now. Like, let's do it. And I have always had this feeling that one day when Brock's about to finish, he was going to do the same thing. And I loved seeing that yesterday, after all of this happened, after Lesnar was gone, that all of a sudden everybody started popping up, that Obafemi was hand picked by Brock Lesnar, and he practically booked this entire thing. Brock wanted to sell for him. There was so many times where like the fall from grace, like that was the first time that anybody had like powerbombed Brock in a decade. And he took that, he took everything that Oba had. Oba came out, he stood tall every single time. He was always the guy. Like it's almost like he dominated Lesnar. Lesnar seriously gave him the best sell job of his career. And it to me, I love like you can tell there was something to be said about their first interaction when Obafemi is supposed to be he's supposed to seem menacing and he's looking at Brock and he's crying. That to me was like, this is different. This is weird. This is like this feels like a different thing. And Seth Rollins said this on Stone Cold's podcast. Like Brock Lesnar's a super nice man in real life. Like this is like he cares about the people he works with, and if he likes you backstage, like you are one of his people, and you can tell Oba he feels like he did a great service. And I will say that it is interesting that he chose Oba over Gunther because it did seem like everybody else wanted it to be Gunther. I also don't think that it hurts that Obafemi before WWE that he was an Olympic shot putter and that is Brock Lesnar's daughter's sport. I'm just saying. Just saying.
So, oh my goodness. I mean, Coinky Dink? I think not. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, but again, right decision. I'm so excited for Obafemi. I mean, I've been excited since he was in NXT, but main roster Oba is about to do crazy things, and I'm here for it.
Oh yeah, we got receipts. Me, you, and Will talking about Obafemi on the NXT shows. We've been fans for a while.
We have public record of it on this
That's
YouTube
right.
channel. Oh my goodness, we gotta get when things calm down. We're gonna get you back on NXT so you and Will can reunite.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's keep going. So spot match, great
Yep.
fun. I'm a sucker for a good ladder match, and everyone played their part. The only critique I have is just like, guys, I know red is a common thing, but Ray and Penta, I had to make sure I was double checking to double check. I was like, you guys are almost in similar stuff. Please, I need to figure it out. But this was fantastic. My goodness, I will always pop for a destroyer onto the ladder. JD McDonough, man. I was just like, you took absolute carnage damage in this match.
And then to go out there tonight and work Finn Balor, it's like, bro, what is going on? Like,
You
you
must
are a
have.
monster.
I was just like, I'm just all that time away. He's like, I'm ready to go. Let's go. I had punctured lungs. We're good to go. Nothing else can go crazier. Let's do this. All that adrenaline. Normally I'm not the biggest fan of like sponsored entrance gear, but the stuff that they gave Penta to promote Mortal Kombat, I was just like, Penta, this actually works for you. I really enjoy the Shao Kahn mask and everything.
Yeah.
It was so good. This match was a lot of fun, and I loved getting everyone getting a chance to do stuff. Rusev just being your muscle, Javon's insane cutter, Ray, doing his Ray stuff, Dragon Lee, Penta, JD, Penta retaining. I couldn't be happier.
Yeah. Yeah, this was really good. I actually picked Javon Evans to win this match. I thought that they would go with youth. I thought they would continue. I mean, I know Penta's 40 years old and stuff like that, but I should have known better because of the way Paul Heyman spoke about Penta on Unreal. Like, you could tell that WWE views him in the same light that Paul Heyman does, the same way that we do, the same way George Kittle and the 49ers do. Like, he is just beloved all around. Plus, he's been like such a big name in professional wrestling, dating back to when Robert Rodriguez had Lucha Underground going. So he is just, it's really cool to see him get his flowers. I know a lot of people were worried about, this chapter of his career working for this company, but he is just, it's beautiful to watch the way fandoms are. I mean, this was a tough match for my son, because he loves Javon Evans, especially the numbers that he says, because my son, I'm sure you teach the kids, so
Lord, Yep. I sure do.
And and then my son, being that, we're both big like 49er fans and stuff like that, like he loves, like he does the little walkout when he goes out to bat. When it's just at time to bat, he does a little Penta walk, like,
for his
so,
walk-up?
like,
Yes.
yeah, he loves it. He does. If he gets the ball, like if he hits even a single, he gets to first base and he always goes. Like, it upsets the other coaches, but I'm just like, shh, just let him have fun. Like, yeah. So this was a good match.
Like,
I was really
Penta
happy.
is for the culture, you guys.
Yeah, I love the fact that this match was dope, and I just want to. I mean, there's 3 Mexicans in this match. How fucking amazing is that? Think about that.
I mean,
that is amazing.
My brown little heart, your brown little heart. I was just like, what? This is the best moment. I'm crying.
Yeah, it is so great. It is so amazing. It's just really, really fun. This is a fun match.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm excited to see who comes up to step up to Penta next. So very fun that he retained and we get to see him continue with this. But after this ladder match, we also get into, you cannot tell me Trick Williams. Trick Williams is, oh my God, this dude is so over. And I'm so happy he is so over with the crowd now that he is officially on main roster. And I've already had receipts saying, in text messages to friends on this channel, I was just like, would I like to see Mello on Mania? Yes, because I feel like he has paid his dues enough to get a spot. But I am happy that Trick, spoiler alert, was able to beat Sammy, is United States champion, and I'm like, there it is, set it up.
Yep.
Trick and Mello's feud is coming up for SummerSlam. Let's do this.
Oh yeah, I love it. Listen, I want to say one thing. I want to give credit to Sami Zayn. I feel like a lot of people have been knocking him for a while, and I've tried. I don't know how to get through to people. It's just like they see him and they don't like him, and I don't want to make this a political statement, but I feel like the moment he started wearing those certain colors on his tights is when people started swaying away from him, which is very interesting to me that you would like show yourself that much, but that's for a completely different conversation, not for a wrestling show. And what I will say is, like, I've always told people this is what he does. He's never going to be the guy, right? Like, yeah, he did hold the IC title, but it was to get it to Braun Breaker, because Braun Breaker and Gunther is a future world title match. So why waste it on an IC title? In NXT, the entire purpose was to get the title to Kevin Owens and to use their history. He won the United States Championship, right? And it was to get it to Ilya Dragunov so that way you can tap into Ilya and Mello. And now you can keep Mello and Trick for after Mania, so we have something for the new season of professional wrestling, and he's once again utilized as a transitional champion. And I agree with Sammy. I don't know what this man did to get booed. I don't get it, but I'm happy that Trick Williams got this moment. I'm happy that he got to showcase himself. I thought it was a perfect match. I thought it was a perfect amount of time. This did not need to go long. I know Sammy that they typically have Sammy work like longer matches at Mania, but I'm happy they didn't do that this time, because that, I feel like, by the end of it, people would be talking about oh man, Sami Zayn is he Mr. WrestleMania? Like everything he does. And I don't think that's what the purpose was. This was about Trick Williams, and it worked perfectly.
Oh, absolutely. So really happy that Trick went. WWE, if you can make it work, I actually do like Lil Yachty as Trick's hype person.
Yeah, that was so cool. Yeah, that's how you use a celebrity, WWE.
I was like, Little Yachty is who Travis Scott thought he was.
Yep. Agreed.
Oh my goodness. So, and hey, we kept it going though too, because let me tell you something. I have missed the Demon, and I am happy to see him back. God, that entrance was everything for me personally. Somebody who's been following Finn forever, and I love that entrance. And I also have to give Dominic credit too, because he played the chicken shit heel. He's like, leading into this match, he's like, I signed up to fight Finn. I didn't sign up to fight the Demon. That was not in the agreement. And then when Demon Finn Balor was making his entrance, Dominic Mysterio's hiding behind commentary the whole entire time too. Oh my goodness. This is the energy I need from Finn. This definitely revitalized. And I was just like, here we go, man. Here we go. Let's do this.
I loved it. He's money. I mean, listen, I love the reports that were coming out that his Demon shirt was like outselling all the top guys. I was like, yeah, this is what would happen if you actually push this guy as a babyface. There are certain people that should only be babyfaces, and I've always thought this about Balor. But I appreciate the fact that he wanted to be the heel. I appreciate the fact that he didn't think, and I know he's looking at it that way, where he's like, okay, now I'm a babyface again. Like, where am I on the pecking order? Because there's so many guys that are baby faces above him. Like, you have Cody, you have Roman, you have Punk, you have Jey Uso, like you have Javon Evans now, you have Trick Williams that's going to be a baby face, you have Obafemi who's a baby face. Like, where does Finn fall? But hopefully he just continues to feud with the Judgment Day for a little bit, because I want to see like a stipulation match, like an I Quit match again, or like a Hell in a Cell or something with like Finn and Dom, like, put over Dom the right way. I think this was like the first part of their feud, I think.
I agree. I think we probably get more, especially I can already hear Dom be like, I want to fight Finn, not the Demon. That was not in the agreement. So Finn didn't beat me. So we got to have a regular match. No Demon.
Yeah.
So, but man, I'm ready. Let's keep pushing Finn. Finn works so good, so well as a baby face. I love him as a baby face.
Agreed.
So we keep it going. Next up, semi-main event. This is, Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley. Jade, yes. Like, I know Jade has always gotten a bad rap since being a part of this company, or hell, she's gotten a bad rap since her wrestling career began in the other promotion. And I've had my issues, not with her, but in terms of how WWE has presented her. But Jade, we hit that one-winged angel on Rhea, and I was just like, this was really good. And shout out to Rhea for also kind of being there to support Jade as well. I had fun with this match. This is what a WrestleMania match is supposed to be. This was fun. Liked it.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. I posted a video today, and I want to bring it up because I got a pretty big support on the video from someone that I believe you know and love that works in WWE today. And I spoke about how this feud has brought out a part of the fan base that I thought was long gone. These are people that are not wrestling fans. They are not women's wrestling fans. They're fans of a specific woman. And watching them fall into the fact that they believe that these two women dislike each other when behind the scenes Jade has spoken about how special this match is for her to go out there with Rhea Ripley. She's spoken about Rhea the way she speaks about her. Rhea is doing kayfabe because she doesn't do well with the other side, which is what I initially said about these two women. I said they're going to bring out the best of each other. Unfortunately, I think what Rhea said on Pod Meets World with Danielle Fishel was that I guess she alluded to the fact that maybe Jade tweeted that without clearing it first, right? Like, and she kind of felt like it defamed her character. But the rest of it just felt like these were two women that were really trying to sell their match, and I think they were handcuffed because, and I've said this before, this is my conspiracy theory. I think WWE messed up not putting one of the women as the main event for night one. And I think that coming out of Elimination Chamber weekend, this match right here was the most talked about match because of Jade's tweet. Right, wrong, or indifferent, it does not matter. This match was the most talked about match. And it was because of what happened that weekend. It was because of the way Rhea reacted. It was because of what Jade had said, right? And it was because Chelsea Green decided to chime in and defend Rhea, and it was because other people decided to chime in and defend Rhea, and it was like, hold up, these are like big time people that are chiming in now. Like, now we are heading into a space where this is really blurring the lines, and I think this was going to steal night one's main event, and I don't think they wanted that, so I do think they kind of like cooled things off. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty cool. Kathy Kelly came in and she supported my video, and she said her exact quote was, emphasizing the first part of this, like what I said there, which is like people like women, specific women, over actually women's wrestling.
Which I had to get. Shout out to Kathy Kelly. I've been following her since the AfterBuzz TV days.
Oh my God, there's no way. I literally just said that to someone today. I said, when I sent that to someone, I was like, yo, Kathy Kelly just commented on my video. He was like, oh, dude, that's awesome. And I was like, bro, I've been a fan of her since she was with Adam Gertler and Jay Quasto and Roxy Stryer.
I was going to
say, AfterBuzz.
I was going to say, I was just like, those are, listen, I would not to show my age a little bit, but let me tell you, the Raw and the SmackDown crews on AfterBuzz were my thing when I was in college. It carried my late night studying undergrads, listening to the conversations and then breaking down Raw and stuff like that. And let me tell you, we were there through the ups and downs of that era.
I watched that episode where Kathy Kelly announced that she got signed with WWE. Yes. I remember all of it. Like, I've been a fan of those four people. I follow Roxy Stryer on every single social media.
Oh my gosh.
Yo, I love it. I love those. I wish Jay Quasto and Adam Gertler did more stuff, but they don't. I know Jay Quasto's like a stand-up now, so it's different.
He does. Well, I was reintroduced to Mr. Johnny LaQuasto because he did commentary for almost all of the shows that were part of the Palm Slam Fest, so like the CMLL and the Stardom and that stuff. But yeah, those ones, and I always got to support my girl. I know the people like to hate on her too. Just as a sidebar, really quickly before we get into the main event, but I also been following Denise Salcedo's journey too. I was just like, I love Denise, but yeah, the AfterBuzz TV folks, we've been following y'all since my college grad days.
I followed Denise too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, these people were it's so funny because this was like Apple Podcasts, right? Like, these were not like typical. This is before Spotify. This is crazy. Yeah, that's so funny that you like that. We just finding out something about each other right now on here. That's crazy. I used to listen to them all because they also had a DC and Marvel movie news.
Yes, oh my gosh. Yep.
Big ass fan. Yeah. Shout out to them. Shout out to all those people. Hopefully you guys get to see this one day and realize that you got two big ass fans right here.
Listen, like we've been rocking with y'all way back then, and we're gonna continue with rocking with y'all. Like, oh
Hell
my
yeah.
goodness, I love it. I knew there's a reason that we vibe together and we're friends.
Yup. Hell
Oh
yeah.
my let's get into this main event. So
Oh,
Punk Reigns. I was just like, thank God, this is how a main event should be.
yeah, this was 33 minutes of excellence. Listen, I made a comment today. I want to know what you think about this comment. I said the reason this match is going to be viewed like a Brett versus Stone Cold in the future is because of the build. The build and the fact that the main event itself, the match that everything was supposed to culminate around, was so good, right? They could have, they could have decided at that moment, like, oh yeah, we're just gonna go out here and we're just gonna put on a normal match. No, I think these two men were up to the task. They saw what happened night one. They saw what was happening throughout the show, and they were like, we're getting time. They're giving us time. Let's use every single minute because they got
Mhm.
it. They got it. Their story was told beautifully. Listen, you can tell that CM Punk has lost a little bit of a step, but his desperation, everything about it, the way that they culminated the story, it wasn't just the fact that Punk grabbed the Ula Fala right off of a fan. It wasn't just the fact that like he tried, like it was the fact that he low blowed Roman because keeping that championship mattered so much to him. And what I loved was that every single thing that people like have said about Roman, he did. He won this match on his own, clean, in the main event of WrestleMania. No outside involvement. And my lord, after all of the shenanigans that we get from this company in terms of one-on-one matches, for them to let these two men go out there and just cook, to just go out there and make you a seared duck breast with a beautiful, onion risotto with a side of clementine and kale salad, just a beautiful three-course meal. And by the end of it, I was full, I was satisfied, I felt so like happy. I woke up this morning to go to work, and it was my alarm went off at 3:15 in the morning, and I immediately woke up, and as I'm drinking my coffee, I'm rewatching the match. That's how much like I was like, I have to see it again.
I and as like a really weird, like as a wrestling historian too, like just I really enjoyed this for this again. Like you said, this was just exactly what a main event of WrestleMania needs to be too, right? But as a wrestling historian, like I lost my little mind hearing AFI play for a little bit for Punk. I was just like, oh my God. Okay, here we go. So super simple, great stuff. This was fantastic. Roman beats Punk. I just appreciate that Roman Reigns immediately went on to the post show and made it clear he's like, I'm here, I'm champion. We're working this summer, y'all. So you're gonna see me. You're gonna see
Loved
me
it.
almost every week. I was like, thank God, because I I feel like I don't want to ruffle any feathers, but like towards the tail end of the Roman Reigns 4-year title reign, I'm like, we're just spinning our wheels, you guys, just spinning our wheels.
Yeah.
But I now that it's been enough time and Roman's gonna be here all the way leading into SummerSlam, I'm like, okay, I'm back on board. And
Yeah.
what I appreciated too is the fact that prior to all of this, Roman Reigns won this championship, no bloodline to help, no
Yep.
shenanigans. Like he beat Punk of his own merit, and he didn't. Well, I mean, minus the steps because people are like, he used the steps. I'm like, we play hard and fast with the rules, you guys. It's okay.
Yeah.
But for the most part, Roman just went out there and took care of business is what it was. And I'm like, this stage for Roman, I'm like, I'm here for it. Let's go. Let's see where this summer goes for him.
Yeah. I do think something changed over the past couple of months. Um, it just feels like maybe the company as a whole kind of felt like, and I think we saw this after Mania concluded. And I said something about it today as well to someone. I don't think they feel like they made a mistake. dropping the championship to Cody and pushing Cody. I just think that they realized over these past 2 years that maybe they can have their cake and eat it too, which is why I think both of those men are the world champions. They're the world champions for their respective brands.
Mm-hmm.
So I think now we're in a situation where it's like, not only do we have the guy that we wanted to be the future face of the company, which is Cody, but we also got the guy who's telling us he's not done yet. And now we can actually have them compete with each other because we have one guy running Raw, one guy running SmackDown, and there are two biggest names in the company. And I think that to me is going to, competition breeds like the best, product. So I think both of these men are going to be trying to outdo each other left and right. And I love it. I think that's great for business. I think it's great for us as the fan.
I agree with you, my friend. And that brings us to the end of our Mania post show. It was like, woo, we got it all done. Macho, I would like to thank you for being here. I'm going to text you after this because I know you're currently busy with the season of life, but with summer coming up, depending on how things go, let's try to rotate you in ever so often.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds good to me.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I definitely enjoy talking wrestling with you. Maybe I could just jump on some other shows. Maybe I could jump on like a CMLL show or something, or jump on like an AEW show, depending on where you are, what you guys are doing. I think it would be nice to be able to talk just more than just WWE. It'd be fun to talk about outside the product as well, like other product, because I think other product needs to shine as well.
100%. But that's going to be it for us here tonight. So we got to get up on out of here. But thank you so much for tuning in. And from all of us here to BC Wrestle Pod to you at home, take care of yourself, love one another, stay biconic. And until the next one, we'll see you later. But until then, sayonara, adios, and love, peace,